Can I follow up on something, because it was kind of at the start of the show. I was coming in late and made you start by yourself and kind of mentioned this. So you think hypothetically Warriors beat the Pelicans, or excuse me, Pelicans beat the Warriors tonight. 6 straight wins for the Pelicans. You think the response is gonna? You think there's gonna be an overwhelming response to them clinching, or is it just kind
of on social media? Absolutely. So there's that. Like, social media is gonna go crazy.
I don't think Matt George is gonna cry tonight. There were bets that he would cry last night.
He might have cried.
I think he would have cried last night.
It's not going to be the same.
I don't think Matt George is going to cry.
I want to make that perfectly clear. It won't be the same as last night, but I think it'll be what we would have seen on Sunday.
Okay, I see that. I don't think so. I feel like all of the air was let out, and now it's just like, all right, it's going to happen. There's going to be no ceremony. It's like like we were talking about with Kevin John, you'll just get your diploma in the mail. Like, that's ultimately what's going to happen. There's not going to be a big ceremony. There's no throwing the hat in the air. You go to the mail and you get your diploma, and that's how you graduate college. I think that's what it is.
I think there'll be a response.
I feel like yesterday, everyone just used like 100% of their emotion yesterday. Because
I think so too.
Even me, because I'm not a Kings fan, but I'll root for you guys and stuff like that. I was like, all right, got to get home from work and stuff, make sure I catch the game. I think everyone used that all yesterday. So when it happens, like, that's cool.
It won't be the same, but it's still going to be out there. Like, I think it's supposed to. I'll look again. I think it's supposed to stop raining at like 7.
You're really focused on the rain.
That's why people would not go out if they don't go out. It's because it's raining. Around 7, 8, 9. If it's the game? Is it
the game's in San Francisco, so it's going to be a 7:30 start.
Yeah. If it's not raining, I think you will see on your Twitter people down in Doco. Not a whole gang of them, but there will be people celebrating. You'll see people excited all over your Twitter timeline, in your Kings Twitter.
Okay. I mean, I think we'll see a Twitter response. I don't think we'll see the Doco response. I think you had a chance to see that Sunday. It was I didn't think we would, by the way. I thought that's silly. And then I saw how many people were getting ready. Okay, all right. And those are just the ones that had tweeted about it. So there's probably a lot of people that were willing to go do that.
Yeah.
I think Jesse's right. I think this fan base used 100% of their emotional reserves yesterday, and it kind of tapped out today. Not tapped out in the sense of they don't care, they're removed from the process. It's just like, I think it'll be more of a, all right, cool. Like, it's over. We got it. Because I think there's that lingering, this is a thing now. The Kings not getting the qualifying, the official clincher is a thing now.
Well, I mean, it could happen, but let us know in the chat. Call in. Will you be just as excited tonight? I know I will. They clinch tonight.
Going downtown?
I might. Bottles being popped, though.
Really?
Bottles being popped.
Yeah.
Really? They're going to the playoffs.
If you're going to get any emotion, today's going to be the last day, I think, though. Because we've already had 2 instances where, like, okay, they can clinch. Now the third time they don't do it, it's like, okay, like, just do it already.
You can make the argument. I don't know if I'm going to make the argument, but you could make the argument. The more days, the more the release when it does happen. You put what on what? What did he say yesterday?
I don't even know what point you were trying to make. Oh, the more, yep. Okay. I honestly think tonight's kind of insignificant. I don't think people I think they care if the Kings beat the Blazers tomorrow, especially the current state of the Blazers. I don't know that anyone, I think that's part of the situation too. Like, if it was the second night of a back-to-back, Kings were going to Portland tonight, I think the emotional release could be a little bit different. But like, hanging on what the Warriors do, I don't know how many, I don't think Kings fans collectively, I don't think a large percentage of Kings fans are going to be glued to their TV, glued to League Pass, glued to their phone, glued to whatever network tonight's game is on to see if the Warriors beat the Pelicans, or vice versa.
I mean, you could be right. I'm not disputing that. But I do think if it happens, if they're glued or not, like if the notification or they see on Twitter, the Warriors lose, the Kings have clinched the playoff spot. I even think people.
Well, that's
like,
what you're going to get for the longest playoff drought in major sports is over.
Yeah, I even think that, like, it may, like, I'm not saying what you're gonna do, but it may be like you. Like, people may look at it right now
I can tell
and be
you
like,
exactly what I'm going to
and
do.
be like, kind of go like this, put the phone up.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
But people may feel like you feel right now, but when it actually happens, they're gonna be like, "Oh no, it actually happened. It actually, let's go." They're gonna get hyped. They're gonna when it actually happens, because it's gonna be real. It's gonna be real. Like, it's really gonna happen. It ain't gonna be like they should,
But
mathematically it won't. No, like, it actually happened. Like, erase it all. Then you're gonna get like the people talking, like you said, and first time in 16 years, and that's gonna hit you even more. Yeah,
okay.
it'll happen. Like I said, I'm popping a bottle, baby.
Stephen Brown says 16 years of tension. Brad Clayton says 17 years, ready for a release. It's like high school all over again. 916-909-1320. If you want to get in on these phone lines. There was a lot of talk about the potential Minnesota-Sacramento matchup in the arena last night, especially, and it's even more prevalent now with Minnesota moving into that 6th spot. Golden State, they do have the same record as the Golden State Warriors, so we could see some the you know, there's tiebreakers, there's all sorts of different things involved in here, but the Pelicans beat the Warriors tonight. That's going to drop the Warriors down. It's going to move the Pelicans up. I don't know if it's going to move the Pelicans up to 7 or if it's going to move them up to 6. It'll obviously depend on what their head-to-head and conference and all that stuff is with Minnesota, but they'll have the same record in that. Man, it really is. It felt like the top 4. It really felt like the top 4, top 5 were really, really locked in. Now it feels less 7 through 10 and 4 through 10.
Yeah, 4 started at 4.
That has a lot of movement. Phoenix, especially with Kevin Durant returning, that feels less likely. It feels less likely for the Clippers too. But when you throw Minnesota in there, who's currently at 6, I think they're in the same camp as the Golden State Warriors, New Orleans Pelicans, Los Angeles Clippers. The Oklahoma City Thunder are right now holding on to the 10 spot with Kenny's Dallas Mavericks in the 11 spot. I think the Jazz are just about out of it. I don't know who in that 7 through 10 is going to fall off enough for Utah to kind of claw their way back in there. It's not like they're terribly, terribly far behind.
Yeah,
but
I don't think it happens. I think they're about done. But yeah, everything up into that point is pretty tight. I remember last week I thought Phoenix and the Clippers, or I thought Phoenix specifically might fall into the play-in. With KD coming back, I don't think that's going to happen. I didn't expect KD to come back before the end of the season. So getting him back will help them solidify themselves in the 4 or 5 spot. The Clippers, the closer we get to it, the more I think they're going to hold on. But these things change by the day, to be honest with you. The Clippers lose to Memphis, and they'll be like a half game ahead of 6, and I'll be like, they may fall into the play-in. Like, these things change day to day, but it's top 6.
I think there's going to be a lot of movement in those final couple days.
Yeah.
But the thing is now, though, I'm wondering if I feel like it's probably more seeding rather than who makes it and who doesn't. Dallas, as much as I dislike Dallas, they're not out of this at all.
No, big win last night. Yeah, last night.
Yeah, was it Indiana?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, it's clear it's pretty clear what Indiana's doing here at this point.
It's a big game for the Warriors tonight. It's a big game for them. They can't lose this game.
Explain.
They got the Pelicans at home. I know the Pelicans are playing better.
And that's probably the thing. It's at home.
Yeah, you got the Pelicans at home. A loss would move you down in the standings.
Yeah.
That's a game you're banking on, really, to be honest with you. A home game against the Pelicans. The Warriors are 30-8 at home.
A loss
you're
puts
banking
you
on that.
a lot. I mean, they dropped this one. It still feels like a stretch, but you are starting to flirt with the 9th, 10th, and 11th spot.
Yeah.
It feels like a stretch, but it's there.
It's a big game for them. They got to get that win. I mean, they got San Antonio coming up after that. So
I was going to say that might be the one team in this whole play-in playoff scenario where we really haven't dove too much into their schedule. And it's New Orleans and San Antonio, both at Golden State, at Denver on Sunday, hosting Oklahoma City, and then they close out, of course, in Sacramento.